What's up, guys, and welcome back to SCUM. Now, as promised, we are further along. We are now over here, finally, into the actual Z2 sector on this island. And we are down here in this little cove. And it's actually pretty nice. I like this little cove. If you want to do a beach base, it is a pretty darn good one. You've got a actual nice big beach area here. Nice deep cove. Nice view straight across there. If I were to do a beach cove base, yeah, honestly, this is probably one I would do it at. I like how deep this cove is. Yeah, the water's not deep, obviously, but just the cove itself is very nice. It offers a lot of seclusion that you don't get with a lot of other coves. So, I don't know. I like it. Anywho, um, I think I would like to go. I kind of want to cut across this way because somewhere in here there's a cave. I closed down my admin helper for some reason. Sorry, I'm pulling up my admin helper real quick because I have a handy dandy little map that shows cave locations. Yeah, there's a cave. It's just into Z1. It's right about in here. I'd like to check that out. And then I'd also really like to show you guys the little cave up here. I think I've shown you guys that one before. But what I really want to check out today is this over here. I don't know what this is because I can zoom in on it on the admin helper map, and there's nothing there. There's not a structure there that I can see. Like down here, this is a lighthouse, and there's an actual structure. You can almost kind of see it from here, even though the map can't zoom in. I really hope they add a zoom feature to the map. But the point is, there's nothing here. And that one's in like a bunch of deep woods and whatnot. So I'm very curious as to what's there. A lot of you guys may already know what's there. I don't. So we're going to try to kind of make our way that way. So what I want to do today is cut across here, check out the cave here, do a little zippity-doo-dah up and around here, and just kind of check all of this densely wooded area around the train yard here. We're not really going to do much with the train yard. We don't need anything from the train yard. And you guys have seen the train yard before. So we're going to kind of avoid that. I'd like to avoid major POIs right now. We're also not going to mess with the torpedo factory for that same reason. At least not right now. If before we leave this island, you guys would like me to do either of those places just for a little more excitement, let me know. But I think right now we're going to try to kind of loop around. We'll hit this cave, probably gas up right there, and then get to over here because I really want to know what's over there. It may be nothing. I don't know. But it's not an abandoned bunker. I don't think it was a World War II bunker because I had all that stuff up on my map. It's not coming up as any kind of thing that I can mark on my map. So I'm not sure what it is. Again, it may be nothing. It may just be a dead end. But we're going to find out. Anywho, let's see. We need to go directly east, so that away. Now, I've found something out while trying to get over here. This thing does not do particularly well on these hill climbs. You know, that's a pretty darn steep hill there, and it didn't do very well trying to get up one of those leaving the town. What the hell? There's a puppet. Well, that actually worked out okay. Don't run into the rocks. Now, I really would like to see them add, like, some kind of GPS thing for when you're on, or in or on a vehicle, when you're driving. I would really like to see some kind of GPS in just the form of like a little mini map. You know, you already have the gauges and whatnot down there. We have a map here. It would be nice to not have to constantly open the map all the time. But anywho. See, this rock formation here looks like it ought to have a cave, doesn't it? But it does not. At least not according to my handy-dandy map. Oh, there's a tree! Nope, we're good. Everything's fine. Yep, there we go. We're struggling on the hills there. Of course, we're trying to do it from a dead stop, too. Let's see. Yeah, we're going in the right direction. Realistically, we could take this road here, but I kind of don't want to. That was the whole point, is not taking roads. So I'm curious if there's anything in this kind of clearing down here. We gonna find out. Because that's what this whole series is about, is taking the not so beaten path. You know, we want to just explore things that you're not going to find by just following the main roads and whatnot. I don't know why. I like this rock formation, though. Just, like, put a little camp on, like, this side of it. I don't know why. I like it. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Let's see. Where? No, we don't want to go southeast. We want to just go east-east. If not, slightly northeast. We need to go neast. Neast, not ceased. Neast. Now, like I said, I have no idea if there's anything over here, but that's why we're going this way. I also really hope they add throttle control. I know they likely never will, but it'd be nice if they did, wouldn't it? What is that? Oh, that's that town. We're probably not going to mess with that town. There's nothing really interesting to me there. There is I mean, obviously there's a police station. There's a small gun shop, and there's an actual proper hospital there that we can at least drive by there, maybe, if you guys want. And I can kind of point those things out. But, what is with this one random big-ass tall tree here? I don't know, but that sticks out a lot, and I'm not sure. Oh, damn, that's a nice view. I'm not sure what the point of that is. Is that a tree that... Well, we don't have an axe on us, do we? Yeah, we do. Don't we? Yeah, we have an axe on us. Is that a tree that I could cut down? I could cut down that tree. Holy crap. I wonder how many logs we'd get out of something like that. Good grief. We don't really need to find out right now, but I'm just kind of curious. Oh, this reminds me. I got rid of a lot of the guns and stuff that we had collected. I went ahead and got rid of that 1911. Just because I'm not going to use it. I can pretty well guarantee I'm not going to use it. I did keep the 38 ammo. Did I get us a revolver? I can't remember. Obviously, it's not in there. Clearly not then. Okay. Unless I put it somewhere... No. Okay. So we do not have a revolver currently, but... The hell? I thought I heard something that I'm not sure what it kind of. I'm not sure if that was in the game or here in my house. Anywho, I did keep this shotgun though. The little short pump. I kept that because it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. We can even store that in the backpack fairly easily if we need to. But that way, if we find some more buckshot and slugs and whatnot, then we got another versatile weapon. Now, okay, we are just now in this kind of open plain area. Now, I like areas like this because if you're wanting to do a kind of nomad type character or playthrough or whatever, areas like this are great because you could come up here and you could just set up a camp. Now, I'm still hoping that eventually we'll be able to get a packable tent, but, you know, we'll see. This is actually a nice spot right here, just from the standpoint of, you got a decent little flat spot. You got, you know, some bushes and stuff that you can make some fire starter, whatnot with. But you've got a nice overlook here of the train yard. Now, we're not close enough that anything's going to spawn in. Although that would be really cool if it did. What is that? Wait a minute, what the hell? Holy crap, would you look at that, guys? 422 meters away, and we've got puppets spawning in. Holy crap. That is amazing. That's a hell of a lot better than the old system. So, they have clearly altered the spawn system a bit anyway. I mean, I only see one. But, still, that's something. The fact that we have a puppet spawned in from 422 meters away is insane. Oh, crap, I'm running out of stamina. I forgot it costs stamina to sit there with your scope up, huh? I'm curious if I could actually hit it from here with this AK. I kind of doubt it, but you never know. Damn it, plant, get out of my way. Whoop. 413. We can give it a try. We don't really have enough magnification on this scope. And I don't know that this AK is accurate enough. Whoa. Oh, we hit him. Whoop, that's going to be to the left. Alright, yeah, I know this is just a waste of ammo, but I just kind of want to prove a point here. That we can actually hit from this kind of distance. Now, he's taking quite a few rounds to go down, but there we go. Yeah, I could have adjusted the windage. Let me see how. There we go. The problem is, I'm not sure which way the windage adjusts. You know, I haven't played around with that enough. I just use holdovers. You know, and technically with this scope, you don't even need to adjust the range. because you've got drop reticles. So that's actually quite handy. But anywho, that's actually really cool that puppets are spawning in from that kind of distance. Man, I wish we had something better for sniping, like a Car 98. Actually curious if we had some slugs for the shotgun. I wonder what kind of long range accuracy we'd get out of that thing. I highly doubt that we would hit at 400 meters, but you never know. Anywho, that was kind of fun. Let's see. And the sun's getting fairly... I really hope we'll be able to... Yeah, okay, sun is getting pretty low. I think, if I remember right, it gets dark at 2200. But anyway, I like that spot, just for that aspect there. You could you could have a little fun taking some pot shots at puppets from a pretty good distance. So that's kind of nice. Woo! That kind of drops off a little bit. Don't run into the trees. Where the hell are we? Okay, we need to be going to the south. The south is the other way, genius. There's a way if we want to get to that cave. Ooh. There's another nice rock formation. Sorry, I like rocks. Whoop. Ah, poop. No. Nudge. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we need to go, because the cave that we're aiming for is right about here. So we need to be going about that way. Perfect. Sorry, I'm very happy that puppets are spawning in this far away. I really didn't think they would. But they are. Now, I don't know if they do on just the default settings, but, again, here, just for the record, what I've got for puppets that allows them to spawn further away is, let's see, where is it? This one. The low player count mode. That allows puppets to spawn further away, and it kind of pre-spawns puppets in when you get close enough to an area. So apparently they've increased the range at which that triggers, because it didn't used to be that far. The maximum I've had them at before is about 300 and something. But that was at an airfield. Let's see. We went a little bit too far. But yeah, I had it at the B2 airfield. And that worked out pretty well. Let's see. How close are we getting here? Oh, okay. It's going to be not far. It's actually a little bit further west than I thought. It's actually about here. So we're getting pretty close. In theory. Now, I don't know if it's a good cave or, a cave that we could actually do much of anything with, but we're going to try to find it anyway. Now, it's probably one of these big rock formations. That's where caves tend to be. Probably this one right here. If I had to take a guess. I keep hearing stuff. I don't know if you guys are hearing it or not. Oh. Let's see. Do we have... I do not have a headlamp. We have a light on the AK, though. Do we have a light on the pistol? Yes. Does it have batteries? Yes. Fantastic. I don't really... I don't remember the button for that. Let's see. No. What the... Crap. What was the button? No. Damn it. Give me just a sec, guys. Okay. It was Shift E. It wasn't doing it for me a second ago, but whatever. It is now, and I'm stuck. Ooh. Look like, okay, well, we can do it this way. This is actually not too bad. Kind of a long, narrow cave, but it's got a tall ceiling, wide enough area back here. Not a whole lot to it, but it would actually make for a decent little camp. You can get far enough back in here. Oh, that got dark. Huh. I actually like it. Aside from that spot right at the very beginning, there's also a chest in here. You could, in theory, get a vehicle in here. Is there anything up here? No. Alright. Well, either way. And there's a 22 rifle in here. Well, I really want to be able to use chests like that for storage, but we cannot. Anywho. That's actually a pretty decent little cave. Yeah, this rock here at the beginning makes it difficult to get vehicles in. Because you've got a deep little crevice right there, and then a big hump to get over that. But in theory, if you wanted to build a base in there, you could put a foundation over that and then maybe kind of do little ramps or stairs or something like that. But anywho, that's actually a pretty good cave. I kind of like that one, actually. That's the thing. There's a lot of caves in Scum that they're kind of like, not really great, but that one's actually pretty good. Okay, the next cave is way up yonder ways, but we're going to take the scenic route around this away. I have no idea if there's anything of interest in here. It didn't really look like it on the map. I didn't see a whole lot of what looked like any kind of structures or anything. There's no caves or bunkers or anything like that listed. But there might still be some cool camping spots. Now, that's one thing that I don't like about this South Island. There's not really a whole lot of anything out here in these, you know, just kind of big open areas. You know, we are gonna take the road for a little bit of this. Oh yeah, there's also a train tunnel. That you could potentially make this into a base. You know, just wall up the ends of it. Especially this end over here. Ooh, actually, this spot down here is actually kind of cool. Let's see. That one. There, now you guys can actually see what's in here. But these little train tunnels are cool. I've never really done anything with them, but they do seem like they would make for a nice little base if you wanted to do that. Now, let's see, that way goes up to the train yard. That's not really where we want to go. Although, well, it kind of is, I guess. Kind of, sort of, not really. I mean, we want to go this way. I guess the other one technically went to the train yard. But we're going to zippity-doo-dah off this way because we want to go around the train yard. We're also running out of daylight, which is a bit of a problem. Let me know, as well, speaking of daylight, what you guys think of kind of what I've been doing so far, and that's like when we start running out of daylight, I will just change the time so that it's, you know, daytime. You know, let me know if you guys are okay with that, or if you'd prefer that we just say, and, you know, we continue on, and when nighttime falls, we, you know, maybe look for a place to camp. You know, that was kind of my intent, was we would, you know, explore during the day and then find a place to camp at night. And, you know, just chill around the campfire at night and, you know, cook up whatever we caught that day. Yeah, there's really just not a whole lot on this South Island. Excuse me. That's one thing I really don't like about it. You know, you guys know that I really love all the little cabins and whatnot. What is this? It's just a rock formation. It's not a cave. It's a cool rock formation, though. I would make a little camp or something in here. Let's see. Nope, we want to go... Oh, we're pretty well... Yeah, we're wanting to pretty well go that way. Another train tunnel. We're going to have to go around that. Like I said, the train tunnels are cool. I know one of you's done a base in the train tunnels. I never have, but I like the idea of it. Let's see here. Okay. Problem, you can't... Oop, okay, that's a train tunnel over there. The train tunnel is not going to take us where we want to go. It's going to take us back to the train yard. That's not what we want. So we're not going to follow that train tunnel. There's rocks. Okay. But that would have maybe damaged the bike a little bit more than that. But hey, I'm not going to complain. Oh, come on. There we go. But yeah, I would really like to see them add throttle control to the scroll wheel. Because you've already got, and I think I've mentioned this in other videos, but you've already got throttle control for the planes and the bicycles. Ooh, these are some nice rocks. I found a rock. Whoop, we're getting too close to the train yard. That's what I was afraid of. You don't want that. No. But, you know, you've already got essentially throttle control for the airplanes, the bicycles, the wheelbarrow, and just walking around on foot. And so the system is already in place. It would not take much, I wouldn't think, for them to apply that system to the other vehicles. So that we could then have vehicles, you know, be a little bit more controllable. Because I hate, like, in through here, I hate having to just repeatedly bump the throttle. You know, it's like you can't just kind of putt along. You have to go full bore and then nothing, you know? And that bugs me. Whoop, okay. Well, I guess we're taking this road here, because it's going to take us basically where we need to go. Yep, I hear a happy. Where be ye, hap? You're not happy. You're also not happy. There you are. Oh, speaking of, we're not speaking of that right now, but we are now. I also got rid of the bow. Just from the standpoint of, I can make a bow. You know, we really don't need that 100-pound ballista bow. Particularly if we're still just using the crappy little wooden arrows. Now, I think we're probably going to come back through here before we leave this island. Where are you? I hear you. Oh, you're stuck inside. Well, that sucks for you. Rargabargles. But yeah, we'll come back through here and check the garages and whatnot before we leave the island. Just to see if we can't find some more, like, screwdrivers and stuff. Anywho, this other cave, I'm pretty sure I've shown it to you before. Those of you that have been with the channel for a while, I know you've seen it. Because I did a base here one time. And I think we've checked it out on one of the live streams recently, but they changed the entrance. These rocks were not here like this before, if memory serves. But I kind of like it. You know, it adds a little bit more security to it. You got a nice flat area out here. But, let's see, let's get that out and do that so you can actually see in here. Now, this cave is not great. It's very rocky and uneven in here, but it's not bad either. You know, you're going to be limited on what you can do in here. But it's a pretty decent size. Climb. Now, with this one, something I kind of like about it, you've got an upstairs. You know, you kind of have a little loft area up here. It's not huge. Oh, good, there's a gravel bag in here. Fantastic. And a candle and a nail. Wonderful. But it's just kind of neat, you know, you could come up here and put a little, you know, you could put a cot or something up here maybe. Whatever, I don't know. But you can also... You can kind of use this as a fallback point if you needed to, you know, because you can see... Well, I guess that's not the very front of the cave, but the point is, if, say, this were a PvP server, you could use this and be fairly secure in there. You know, you could sit up there and, oh, hey, there's some boots. And if somebody did manage to get into the base, you could pick them off from up there as they come in. You know, because you'd be up there, and you could pick them off. It'd be hard to see a person up there. But you could pick off, you know, intruders as they come through, you know, because right up there is where you can see. But, anywho. Like I said, I kind of like it. So, there are some pretty decent caves. Gotta say, I do enjoy the caves in SCUM. Anyway, while we got some daylight, let's try to get over here. So we are going to hit roads. We're probably going to try and just zip straight across west here, go past that bunker, and just get on the roads there. They should be dirt roads, or at the very least, like, just kind of the rural blacktop roads. But so we need to go west now. And we are running out of daylight, unfortunately. So I'm hoping that this place is something interesting that we can hole up for the night. You know, I don't think it's going to be one of the little cabins, because I don't think there are any of those on this South Island. Which is very unfortunate. I really, really like those little cabins. Well, we did not... You know what? Pretty sure there's not really good... Well... You know what? Nah, we'll... Let's see. We need to go almost due north at this point. We can at least take a look at this bunker. We're not going to go in it right now. I don't know if it's abandoned or active. But, damn, I love that view. Sorry, I do. Any of the places where you can see the mountain back there, I love it. I really do. Okay, now due north would get us to the bunker. Yep, there we go, right there. Now, like I said, I don't know... Okay, this is abandoned. You can tell by the destroyed guard towers. Okay. Well, I definitely have no desire to go in there. Not currently, anyway. Uh-oh! Whoa! Okay, we got friends. Let's get the hell out of here. Now, we don't need to keep going north at this point. Nope, but actually, we're gonna encounter a road. We're gonna... There's the road. Okay. Well, we're gonna just take this road because the road will now take us where we want to go. So, we're taking this road here. We're gonna take a right. Gotcha. But see, I like the roads like this. You know, just these little rural blacktops. I like the dirt roads. That's not the button I wanted. There. I don't know if that helps or not. It's kind of hard to see since we're kind of driving into the sun. I said we were going to take a right. Since we're driving into the sun... Yeah. We're just going to follow this and see where the heck it goes, because I have no idea. This is a nice drive, though. But see, I'd really like to be able to drive slower on this road. But I can't. It's, you know, full throttle, no throttle. Full throttle, no throttle. I hope there's something interesting at the end of this. There are a couple old abandoned cars. Ooh. Wait, is this actually the end of it? This is actually the end of it. Kind of, I mean, there's a dirt road here, but there's a camper there. I kind of like that. Honestly, that right there is cool. Just like the end of the road, you know, the road ends at a camper off in the woods. I actually like that a lot. I do. I actually really like that. But I'm curious where the road actually ends. Does it just go down to the beach here? Huh. It does. It just kind of dead ends down here at the beach. Damn. That's actually really nice. See, there's nothing over here. So there's no reason for most people to come here. But then you have goobers like me that just say, hey, I'm going to follow this dead-end road. And I don't know if you guys can hear my dog crunching on a chewy in the background. But I like stuff like this. This is actually really nice. Yeah, there's nothing here, but honestly, this would be a decent place to build a base. Yeah, it's still salt water, but you've got a nice dead-end road. Dang, I actually really like that. I do. I really like that, actually. Let's see. You got another little kind of peninsula over there. I'm curious. Looks like you've got another little beach area there, maybe. A little hook cove there. But man, I like this. I really like this. That's a heck of a view there, too. I wish this was fresh water, though. I really wish this was fresh water. Man. That is a really nice view. Hmm. I want to go back to the trailer up there. And we're going to see. We may just set up camp down here. But I want to see what that trailer has to offer up there. Because I do actually really like that. Sorry, I keep turning off the HUD just because when I see a kind of a view that I like or an image that I like that might be good for a thumbnail, but would look a lot better without the HUD and everything. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can't get in it at all. Oh, that's so. Yes, I can. Duh, I gotta turn the HUD off, stupid. Jeez, I'm not the brightest guy in the world. How do those driving gloves look? I kind of like those, being the dark brown. They go well with the civilian clothing, Anywho, I really wish that we could use the stoves and whatnot in here. Also, what do you guys think of that? So, okay, like, get rid of the HUD to where it's more immersive, obviously, but we can't see a lot of things quite as well. Now, you do still get the little messages that pop up on the side. They'll say, like, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm warm, stuff like that. But you won't have your gauges and stuff in view all the time. Let me know what you guys prefer. If you want it, because we can do it without all of that stuff. And then just pop them on every once in a while. So let me know what works better for you guys. But heck, we could just sleep in here tonight, except your head kind of phases through the headboard a little bit. But I'm not sure that I want to, though. Those sheets are... I got some mold on them or something. Not a huge fan of that, but... oh, you can actually search those. Well, would you look at that with your eyes? Can I sit? No, of course not. Anyway, I just kind of like that, It's a nice dead-end road that ends at a trailer tucked back in the woods. You still actually got a decent view through the trees and whatnot. I think it doesn't look like it's going to rain on us. I think let's head back down to the beach. We can kind of watch the sunset down here. Oh, that's nice. That is really nice. Oh. That is a beautiful view right there. I think we might do that as the thumbnail. Because, dang, that is gorgeous. But I think we might just camp down here for the night. There's this nice little beach area here. And I'm going to say, let's go ahead and get us a fire going. Because we still got that chicken that we can cut up. Let's see. I don't even remember, what do we need for a fire? That's one problem with getting rid of the HUD, is it doesn't tell you what ingredients you need. So obviously we're going to have to turn it back on for that. Tinder, stones, stuff and things. Search for rocks. Beautiful. More rocks. Need one more rock. Oh, fantastic. Stones and tinder. Well, we can turn these small wooden sticks here into tinder. And then we got us a couple of logs. We still got the grill grid. Until we don't need until we need the backpack space, I'm gonna just hang on to the grill grid. Because it's handy for cooking food. Because without it, you can only do skewers over a fire. So I would really like to just have the ability to cook actual food. Now, I'd like to get this fire going before we run out of daylight completely. One more log drap. Because I don't want to cut down a whole tree just for a log. Also, I don't know how well you guys can see right now. I think you can still see okay, but we are running out of daylight very quickly at this point. Aha, is this a bush I can use? This is a bush I can use. Fantastic. Give me that, thank you. There we go. Light that. Oh, now we have some light. There we go, there's that. And then we got some chicken in here somewhere. Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. Check the taste of the raw chicken. Yep, just lick the raw chicken. That's perfect. Exactly what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Yep. There we go. Oh. You know what? We'll take the fat. We don't need the bones. Yeah, you can make like a bone needle out of them. We don't need those though. Cook food. How do I do the chicken drumsticks? Can I not do those? Add recipe to the utility stuff. Well, can I really not? What? That's unfortunate. Do I not know how to do that yet? Well, shoot. I need a barbecue cookbook, don't I? Well, crap. That sucks. Oh, I also need the salt and pepper. Salt, pepper. I can't... Can I... What? I can't do chicken meat? I know the chicken is not red meat, but... Can I really not do chicken? On there? What the hell? It shouldn't be fish, but... Son of a bitch, can I really not do just grilled chicken? Really? I can't just do chicken? What do I need for that thing? Yeah, I don't have the stuff for that. Well, crap. That's unfortunate. No, because I can't do anything with it. Well, grill grid, then you just get out of the way. I guess we can do skewers. Right? Can I do skewer? Yeah, I can do skewers. Meat skewer. Okay, well, that'll do anyway. Okay. Now. Let's do another skewer. That's unfortunate. I really thought that I could grill the chicken. I'm not sure why you can't grill the chicken. It's quite literally just, you know. There, that's how we set the alarm. Now the problem is, which one is it setting for 30 seconds beforehand? Because I can just sit here and keep an eye on this. That should work out okay. Damn it. You know what? Here, we'll just go 1 minute before. That'll get either one. Because I don't know which one of these is which. But that's okay. Anywho. See, this is kind of how I wanted to end these episodes. Is with us just kind of sitting around the campfire chilling, cooking some meat that we caught that day. You know, that's just kind of, that's what's enjoyable for me. That seems like a good way to end these episodes, where we're just kind of doing exploring and that kind of thing. You know what? That would actually make for a decent thumbnail, too. We got a whole lot of nice views this time around that would make for good thumbnails. But anyway, while we're waiting on the food to cook, I guess we'll go ahead and do the outro, because this is obviously the end of the episode. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. And let me know if you guys are still enjoying the just kind of exploration stuff. I'm enjoying it, so I hope you guys are too. And let me know if there's any interesting places that you guys know of down here on the South Island that we can check out. We can still kind of go across the top here, I guess. We can hit that on the way back. Let me know if you guys want us to hit the torpedo factory. Oop. You know what? We're going to go ahead and do that. There we go. Beautiful. Perfectly cooked. Absolutely wonderful. Go ahead and tuck that in there. This is close enough. We'll just keep an eye on it. But yeah, let me know if you want to hit the torpedo factory or anything like that. Again, we don't really need anything, but we could do it just for fun. Now, at one point, it seemed like if you want to get the food perfectly cooked, you would need to wait until the last possible second to get it off the fire. It doesn't seem like that's the case anymore, and it doesn't seem like it's been that way for a little while. You know, it seems like you can just grab it as soon as it turns green in here, and it'll work out. Ooh, I'm getting toasty. I need to back away from the fire a little bit, huh? Okay, there we go. Anyways, how about no, not taunt. Here, let's just sit down back here watching the fire. Anywho, since this is the end of the episode, I'm going to go ahead and plug the links in the description as per usual. We've got St. Jude Children's Hospital and Wounded Warrior Project, both linked in the description. So if you'd like to support either of those charities, go check out those links. And then we've got the Discord server for the Wolfpack multiplayer SCUM server. It is a PvE server. It's a nice chill server. It's where I do all of my live streams. And it's just a really good place to either get started in SCUM, or if you just want a more kind of chill environment to hang out in, it's a great server. There's a lot of good people on there. We occasionally do some community-wide events. Like, we've got an upcoming event that's going to be an NPC base raid, where we've made an actual proper base, and then we're going to spawn in a crap ton of NPCs inside the base, and then all the players on the server that want to participate in it can come in, and we're going to try to raid the base. So it should be interesting. But anyway, like I said, it's just a nice, fun, chill server. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, go check out that link. Make sure you read the server rules and settings. And if it sounds like a good fit for you, then get in touch with either myself, Necros, or Cornbread. We are the admins for the server, and we can get you set up with the password. And then we have my wife's YouTube channel, where she does a variety of videos, including ambient rain relaxation videos, little comedy videos, paranormal videos, where she does informational content on various paranormal locations, as well as some evidence that we have captured on some of our investigations. And then we do our family live streams over there on Friday nights, where we play games like Phasmophobia. So if any of that content sounds interesting to you, go check out her channel. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.